Hey guys, welcome back to Whiskey Sports episode 6. This is 6, isn't it?
Yeah,
I don't know. I forgot. I think
maybe.
it's 6. Welcome back to episode
We'll
6.
go with it. Episode 6, baby. Let's go.
If it's 5, it is what it is. Welcome back to episode 6. I'm here with my boy Rhett. Man, I had a pretty good weekend for the championships.
Yeah, no, it was a solid weekend. It was a fun time with watching football too. Thought it was a good weekend. Some things that we predicted and some things that we didn't predict, but
Man.
overall, good weekend.
Alabama. I mean,
as usual, saving in the big games. I said +6. You said money line. I was very confident in +6. So when you texted me and said, let's just go money line together, I was like, all right, I'll put some money on it. Money line. Pretty easy, honest. I thought it'd be closer than that, though. I didn't think they'd come out and dominate. And at first, I was like, dang, Georgia came ready.
I mean, a lot of people are looking back at it and looking at their schedule, and they're saying they really hadn't played too many great people this year. It hadn't been the strongest. And the thing is that Stetson looks good against bad teams, obviously. But when he plays a good team, he's not as strong. I think that's what's going to hurt Kirby is he doesn't make adjustments. Same thing when we saw Jake Fromm and the whole Justin Fields situation. He kept Jake Fromm in, kept him in.
Fromm was probably he was so mediocre, but he was probably better than Stetson.
No, he was. I'm just talking about the situation at quarterback. He should have benched Jake and started Justin. Well, now he's doing it again, and he won't go back to JT. He's sticking with Stetson.
Well, does Justin even fit the offense they were running? Pro style, under center?
That's true. Well, when he came in,
I would have switched the offense for Justin because of how good of a player he was in college. But that's just that's just not how these coaches work. They're pretty stubborn in their ways. Yeah. Especially when they bring on an offense coordinator and say, hey, here's the range. They basically just hand it over. But I would have changed the offense if I had Justin Fields. I wouldn't run in this day and age. I'm not running pro style anyways in college.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. I love offense. I've always have. So that's my stubborn opinion on it. But it's Stetson. So what happened was they went up big 10-0, and then all of a sudden, Jameson Williams, I think he catches that long touchdown pass.
Yeah.
And then Georgia started freaking out, acting like it was going to be a shootout. Like, you're going to give up big plays against Bama. Even as good of a defense Georgia is, you're going to give up big plays, especially to Williams. I mean, he's so good, so fast. It's like they started freaking out. I was like, here, Stetson, try to throw it every play. It's like you were just running it pretty good in the first quarter, got away with it, started throwing the football. Stetson couldn't do it, and Bama just kept scoring. I mean, I don't understand it, man. It was like they had a game plan and they threw it away as soon as they felt a little bit of pressure from Bama.
Yeah, I mean, you can't rely on Stetson Bennett. You just can't. I think Kirby should have switched over to JT.
I think it's too late now, man.
My question is why are you not? So you're blowing everybody out this year. Why are you not throwing JT in the second half against Georgia Tech? Or I think they played Georgia Southern, or they played somebody bad, and JT didn't get any snaps. Stetson got every single snap. Why are you not letting him?
I don't know about that. I don't really care about that. I honestly think he got when JT came back, he did not start him then, and then as the games went on, he couldn't place him back in there.
They're up 45-0. Their defense.
No, what I'm saying is I'm going from a different point of view. JT should have came in after he got hurt and started anyways. There should have been no thought of Stetson starting in these games, dude. He's not going to win you the big one. And we may eat our words. He may end up coming out in the playoff and doing fine. I don't know, but I still think it's a bad matchup for Michigan because they're both deep in the trenches. It's not like McNamara's going to come out and throw for 400 yards. Maybe Harbaugh does, or Harbaugh's obviously not the OC, but maybe they do come out and like, okay, we see that you can beat them downfield and come out and actually try to throw the football. I'm not sure, but I don't believe Stetson can win you the playoff. JT is a type of player that could have done it, and he should have, as soon as JT got healthy, he should have placed him right back in the lineup. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games go by, and at this point, it's too late. You can't just place him in the lineup. You're not Nick Saban, who was a wizard at that when they played Georgia 2 years in a row. I just don't know. I don't know if you can do that this time, man. Not with, because it's not like JT is generational. You had Jalen Hurts and Tua, both generational players that you can insert at any point. I don't know if JT's that, but he's definitely levels above Stetson, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I heard a rumor about why JT is not playing though.
Uh-oh.
So
I like the conspiracies.
I heard that the reason why JT is not playing is because Kirby and JT's dad got into it. They say that, the whole NIL thing where people are getting paid. Well, supposedly JT hasn't got his money, or Kirby has stopped his payments. And JT's dad's pretty upset about it. And I think they kind of went at it a little bit. And I think that is why he hasn't taken a snap since his injury.
I don't think Kirby has the authority to stop NIL payments.
There's some type of situation where there's money involved, and I don't know if JT's gotten paid, or I just know that there's something with NIL, and JT's dad and Kirby got into it over it. Is what I heard.
Yeah, because the NIL deals, they're not coming directly. They're not coming from the school. Yeah. They're coming from whoever is sponsoring him. You know what I mean? So yeah. I don't know how Kirby would have the authority to veto that or to stop that. And you know me, I'm going to question you even preface it. I mean, this is a rumor, but you know me, I'm going to question everything. You could say the most outlandish thing in the world, I'm going to try to pick it apart. That's just the way I am. But I don't know. I don't know about if the rumors are true, but I do know one thing is you just don't bet against Nick Saban in big games. It's not something that you should ever do. And for the people who did, you got bit in the butt. For us, what did we get at? Plus 180?
What? Yeah, plus 184.
Plus 184. I mean, those odds for Nick Saban, I don't care about the past. I don't care what happened in any of the games. He came out, perfect game plan, ran with it. He did. Bryce Young looked awesome.
He did, man. I think they I just listen, but people were probably like, oh, Alabama's not that good. They play, the Iron Bowl was 4 overtimes. Auburn's not that great. We're 6-6. I mean, it don't matter how good each team is. The Iron Bowl is always going to be close no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah, they scored their first touchdown
2 years ago. Wasn't it pretty bad?
That's what I'm saying. For the most part, it's close. And then at the end of the third quarter, going into the fourth, Alabama starts kind of blowing us out a little bit. We can't hang with them sometimes. But
I think a lot of times they can't really overlook you guys. I think this year they might have. I just don't know if you can develop that great of a game plan in a week versus solid. What we think is a very solid football. I still think Georgia is one of the best. I still think they're a top 4 team in the country.
Yeah.
But like you mentioned, they didn't play the competition. I mean, their best competition was Clemson earlier in the year, and then a 7-5 Tennessee team. I mean, before they got into that game, they played
6-6 Auburn now.
Opponents. Huh?
6-6 Auburn, and we didn't even play them that bad. It was 34-10. Yeah,
I was just saying, like, you could argue Tennessee could beat Clemson. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know who was the better team at this point in time. Maybe Clemson gets us because Clemson actually did improve throughout the year. But that first game, Clemson, no, Tennessee beats that first game, Clemson by.
But they're also playing ACC teams. Like, yeah, they may look good, but like Tennessee's battling week in and week out against good SEC opponents. So,
but that was just a point of showing like 2 mediocre teams were their best teams they had played. But you look at who are you going to replace them with? You know what I mean? Like a 1-loss Notre Dame team, who the only good team they played all year was Cincinnati, and they got beat at home. You're not going to replace them with them. You're not going to replace them with a 2-loss Baylor. You're not going to replace them with a 2-loss Oklahoma State. It's just not going to happen. They deserved the force. I think maybe Cincinnati, the only argument you could have is Cincinnati maybe jumping them. I think they were staying away from a back-to-back Bama Georgia game, which makes sense.
Yeah.
But
maybe put Michigan 1. I mean, I know Michigan didn't have a great win against Iowa, and Alabama obviously had the better win, but move them up and then have Cincinnati and Who would, I guess it'd still be Michigan, Georgia, and Alabama, Cincinnati, wouldn't it? If it was one,
Yeah,
two.
I mean, I just think they were going based off that win right there, which
Yeah.
was Bama blowing out Georgia versus Michigan blowing out Iowa. Who, I mean, that game was a thing where I even say that I thought I took them plus 11, but it was just like I know Michigan's good. I just don't know if they're going to have a little bit of a hangover or not.
Yeah.
But Iowa's just freaking bad, dude. They suck. I mean, they're terrible.
Yeah.
I was literally praying Tennessee would get them in a bowl game. We ended up getting Purdue, which is kind of a similar thing, but Purdue can actually score. Like,
yeah, they can.
Iowa would, like, we could destroy Iowa because they cannot move the football at all. I mean,
that's them every year, though. I feel like.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they'll have those weird wins every year. They'll throw in an upset. They'll sprinkle in an upset every now and then. But yeah, I mean, that was domination from the start, from the beginning. You know, but I mean, I don't know, man. It's just
I don't think I've been on the Wolves all year, but I don't think Michigan's going to get it done against Georgia, and let me tell you why. I think the reason why they beat Ohio State this year is because they dominated the line. They dominated both lines of scrimmage. You're not going to go pound for pound and out-muscle Georgia on both sides of the ball. So now you're left with what? You're not going to be able to run the ball. And that's the only reason why Ohio State lost to Michigan, is because Michigan was running the ball and winning the line of scrimmage every single drive. They're not going to do that against Georgia. So now it's like, what are we going to do? We're going to have to rely on McNamara to pass the ball. Is he going to be able to pass and beat us? I don't think so. I don't think he's a Bryce Young.
I'm taking McNamara over Stetson, dude. I'm not saying Michigan's going to win that game, but Michigan will still pose problems, dude. Stetson, they're going to have to play Stetson. The reason why, I mean, I don't think it's a discussion anyways, but they have to play Stetson because he can at least run outside of the pocket. Aiden Hutchinson's going to be breathing down his throat the whole game.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, dude, we're not picking this game yet. I'm not picking anything. I'm going to wait and see how it unfolds, but Michigan can win this football game. No doubt in my mind, they can win this football game. I think Bama showed the problems and the issues that Georgia's offense has, and showed that, hey, this defense isn't like unbeatable. You can gain yardage on this defense. Now, I don't think that Michigan has the down the field threats like Bama does, but I do think their defense can pose Stetson problem. Again, like I said last week, Bama, Nick's going to dial up some stuff to confuse Stetson to do the things that, you know what I mean? I mean, he threw a pick six. You could tell Stetson was pretty flustered, and you just knew that was going to happen going into the game. He was probably foaming at the mouth knowing he was going against Stetson Bennett. Honestly,
honestly, 5 interceptions against Alabama.
What's that?
Jetson's had 5 interceptions against Alabama in 2 games.
It's crazy stuff. But it's a toss-up this year. It really is. I think any one of the 4 teams, I know you're going to say no, but I still think Cincy can compete with these teams. I really do. Now, first game, they got Bama. Bama's coming off that. You're giving Nick Saban 4 weeks, 1 month, about a month to prepare. Good luck, Luke Fickell. Good luck, my guy. I'm not saying they can't. I'm really not. We're not picking these games. I'm not picking just yet. I'm just saying it's tough. I think where Bama's going to have to get beat is the championship when he doesn't have a month to prepare. But I also, who knows how Luke Fickell may be great when he has a month to prepare. We just don't really know, you know.
We don't.
But on top of, I mean, we've had a pretty long conversation about that, but going over the college games last week, we picked WKU, UTSA. I said UTSA based off the fact that I said I can't go with WKU. Go Rowdy Raiders, but UTSA won the game by 8. The WKU quarterback still threw 557 yards.
Yeah, dude, it was
that losing.
It went down to the last drive, and I think they're at the 50 and I don't know, they tried to do a Hail Mary or what was going on, but I mean, it was down to the wire. So
yeah, I wish I would have actually put money on it besides just picking it. No, I'm just kidding. I would have been stressed out the whole game. I don't need to be stressing about WKU UTSA.
Yeah.
Next game, I thought it was going to be a complete trap bet. Didn't end up being it. Oregon is who we thought they were. Trash. Utah came out and dominated again. It's just embarrassing. What do you think about that?
What, 38-10, and then 38-7 the first game?
To like a good Utah team, sure, but they're not amazing by any means. They're not
Isn't that
someone you should
great?
get smashed on that twice, being top 10. And then Mario said, "Peace, I'm
He's
gone.
man. What about?
Going to the warm weather, South Florida."
I think he's from there. I think he's from
He
Florida.
is, but still, he bounced after that. I don't think
I don't
Mario
think.
Cristobal is a great coach.
No, he's not.
He's a hell of a recruiter, though, and that's one thing. He's gonna, and I'm excited that he's going to Miami because he's gonna beat up Billy Napier. I feel like on the recruiting trail. Because if you've heard Bill, I'm not saying he's going to be bad. I don't know much about him. I'm not saying he's not going to do well on the trail. But if you've heard some of these interviews lately, decommits, transfers left and right because he was basically
Everywhere.
just like Billy's interview was just bad. I think our viewers need to go watch it, but it was just not a good interview to start out. And now people have been dropping like flies from Florida. And guess what? They'll still probably beat us next year because Florida always beats us.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel like it was kind of messed up on what Miami did. Was their coach Manny Diaz? Is that their head coach's name?
Yeah.
I mean, dude, they literally came out and said, "Yeah, we're gonna kind of wait and see if Mario accepts our offer, and then we'll make a decision." Basically, like, we're gonna fire you if he accepts it.
Yeah, it's almost like when you're in middle school or even like in elementary school, when nothing like relationship wise is serious, and you're just like, yeah, I'm going to ask this girl out, but if that doesn't do it, then I always have like to ask this. You know what I mean? Like in middle school, none of that stuff matters. And it's almost like they were doing that. They were stringing along this person just in case Mario didn't sign. And then they said, "Oh, Manny, we'll let you go now. He did sign. Thank you."
Man, I probably, if I was Manny Diaz and
It's karma, though. Do you not remember what Manny did to Temple?
No, I did not. Dude, that's the first time I've heard of that dude's name.
Oh, I'm pretty sure Manny came from North Dakota State originally. Like he was the one that was winning all those championships. If I'm not mistaken, I may be completely wrong, but he was winning all those FCS championships. Signed with Temple to be their next head coach. 10 days later, signs with Miami. He literally signed pen on paper to Temple and was their next head coach and said, "Nope, I'm out." 10 days later and went to Miami. Now, warranted, like obviously you're going to go to Miami over Temple, but it was kind of a karma situation in my opinion, I think.
Absolutely. Let's see. I'm seeing if he coached.
He may not have it. Maybe somebody else I'm thinking of.
No. So he was at let's see. That was actually his first head coaching job in Miami.
Oh wow.
He was.
Where did he come from? Where was all the
From 2016 to 2018, he was at Miami, but he was the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach. 2015, he was at Mississippi State, defensive coordinator, linebackers coach. 14 was at Louisiana Tech.
Man, I was completely wrong then. I'm thinking of someone totally different.
But... Hey, MTSU, baby. Let's go.
Rowdy Raider.
But yeah, dude. So
it sounds like it was just a bad hire for Miami in the first place. Like I don't know.
21-15. Who I really thought was going to go there, and it kind of made sense, was Lane Kiffin. I feel like
the reports today.
I feel like I think he should have went down to Miami. I feel like
Are you seeing the reports?
Is he going to Oregon?
No, Oregon's trying to get him, and they're reaching out to Chip Kelly too, which I don't know.
I saw that today. They asked
on this road again.
They asked for permission from UCLA to talk to Chip Kelly. Did you see that?
Why do they need to ask for permission?
I don't know. That's weird to me. But they asked permission from UCLA.
That's interesting. They want to do that marriage again. I guess Chip was awesome in Oregon.
He was. I mean, his offense was perfect for the recruits that they could get.
I don't know. I have zero idea. It was the dumbest movie ever. I have zero idea why he ever went to the NFL. No idea.
Where did he go? Who did he?
The Eagles.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And then went back to UCLA.
But I know like that may be a head coach's dream because you don't have to deal with recruiting and all that, which takes up a lot of time. I think you have a tiny, not more free time, but since you don't have the recruiting, you don't have to travel all over the country. I think you have a little bit more free time, but his system and his offense just doesn't fit in the NFL.
No.
Too much speed. You can't run east to west that well unless, you have Tyreek Hill or somebody like that. But It's just there's just too much speed for his offense in the NFL. And he didn't do that bad though. They had one run with Nick Foles, I'm pretty sure. He had a run with Nick Foles where um Nick Foles had a 26 touchdown, 3 interception like season his rookie year. And then Nick Foles went off somewhere and then came back and then started being the backup for Carson. But that wasn't obviously under Chip. And then that's when Nick Foles won the championship with him once Carson got hurt. But Nick Foles' first stint was with Chip Kelly, and who was the running back again? LaShawn McCoy, I think.
Oh God,
They
yeah.
weren't that bad of a football team. I still think they were around 8-8 or so. Maybe have gotten to 10-6, but they weren't that bad. But so, yeah, like we were talking about. I mean, Utah just dominated.
I would say we can keep talking about coaches. What about Brent Venables?
I don't like it.
Dude, I don't like it at all.
Don't
well,
like it.
But I'll tell you this. So he's defensive minded. Okay. So he's going to be a head coach, defensive minded at Oklahoma. They have a shitty defense, but he goes and gets Jeff Libby, offensive coordinator from Ole Miss. So I kind of feel like that. I feel like it could end up being pretty good, just because
I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying I don't like it. I don't like when high-end defensive coordinators that have always been coordinators end up getting head coaching jobs. I feel like unless you're like a Kirby Smart situation, it doesn't work out more times than not.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it won't. He's a heck of a football coach, heck of a coordinator.
Yeah.
But I don't really like the thought of a defensive minded guy going to the Big 12 because I don't know if that will still be enough,
That's what I'm saying.
The caliber of defensive guys at Oklahoma that he would like to have. He may, and it may work out. I'm not sure, but
yeah,
I don't like it. Like on the surface, I don't really like it.
I mean, I understand why Libby left. I think it was just because, he probably wasn't calling the offensive plays with Lane.
He definitely wasn't calling the offense.
So I think, he wants that opportunity and that chance to say, hey, I can do this. And maybe it works out and they're the good little duo. I didn't like how he called out Auburn, but I mean, what he said was 100% true. But other than that,
I just highly doubt. I don't think Brent Venables will be calling the defensive plays, which scares me too.
Yeah. Has he hired a defensive coordinator yet?
I don't know. And if he doesn't, then I don't like that either. I don't like when a head coach has to also be the defensive coordinator. But I'm not sure. We need to look that up. I'm not sure if he hired one just yet or not. I'm sure it'll be a good one though, when he hires one. He
needs one. He may just
as prominent of a D coordinator as he was. I'm sure he's not going to do anything below than what he respects. And what he respects is probably someone pretty big, pretty good.
Alex. Nope, that's Southern California. What? He previously served. Okay, that didn't help. I don't think he's hired anybody yet. Yeah, I don't think he's hired anybody yet. But I will say, Ohio State hired Oklahoma State's defense coordinator. Thought that was a really good hire for them.
That's a good hire.
Yeah,
that's a good hire.
They had the guy from the Titans. What was his name?
Who did?
Ohio State. Their defense coordinator.
Oh, they had one. I mean, I know we hired Vrabel from Ohio State.
You'll know his name. Pamela's probably Kerry Coombs was their defense coordinator.
Yeah.
So I think he may stay on there and just kind of be like a linebackers coach or something. Or is he secondary? He's secondary, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. I think he'll be all right.
I mean, that was one of the games that was on this weekend, the Oklahoma State Baylor game. You said Baylor money line.
Yeah.
I mean, I truly think Oklahoma State did look like the better team as their quarterback threw 4 picks. They lost by this much of a football and their quarterback threw 4 picks. I mean, they were definitely the better team, but
did you watch the last play?
Yeah. I mean,
talk about it because
right when he broke outside, because I didn't actually end up, I did a teaser, so I didn't actually end up taking them -5.5. I just felt weird. I took him on the show, but I kind of felt weird, so I took him. It was just to pick him. I just needed them to win. So yeah, I was right when he pulled outside. I was like, oh, that's an easy touchdown. I mean, this play happens 100 times out of 100, and 99 times it's going to be a touchdown. And the DB just turned on the Jets, man, and he just beat them. you know?
But here's my question. That play should have never happened. It should have been a
Yeah.
first down, automatic first down, I would think. So that's what I'm about to explain to you. So Baylor had no timeouts. Baylor's linebacker looks at the ref and is just doing this, calling timeout. That's why they stopped the play. Do you remember when the
Yeah.
judge, the middle judge came up and was like calling timeout with his whistle? And then the head guy comes up to the quarterback and puts his hand, and they're like, timeout. And they're like, oh, wait, you have no timeouts. Is that not a flag? Or if you call a time,
I would assume, yes, it's got to be. I mean, I know it is in NFL, and I obviously know in other sports, like in basketball, it's a technical foul. Tennessee walked off that. Like, this is going to be totally off topic. We'll get right back on it. But you remember when we beat y'all #2 versus #1 in basketball, Memphis?
Yeah, unlikely. Yeah. Why?
Come on now, you remember that. We were together for most of the game.
Yeah.
The week after, or the 4 days after, we finally turned #1. First time in basketball history. We play Vanderbilt, right?
Okay.
In Memorial, which is their basketball gym. And we had the ball. It was tied, I think. It was close. I can't remember the details. We call timeout, no timeouts left. Technical foul. They go down there, shoot free throws, get the ball. We lose the game. It was like the first time we ever got ever got #1, and it was like 4 days.
Yeah.
Now since then we've been #1 again. But just fun fact.
But yeah. Anyway, so that should have been automatic first down.
Yeah.
And then they'd have had 2 plays because there was about 10 seconds left. They'd had 2 plays, 2 throws, and what could have happened, we don't know.
We still might have lost.
Correct.
That quarterback was terrible all game, man. I was reading tweets, so I was getting kind of nervous before the game because I was reading like tweets below any excerpt they put under there, and Baylor fans were like, "Oh, we'll probably win." They got Spencer, like their quarterback, and I was like, "Oh, is this dude that bad?" And I was like,
yeah,
because the games I'd watched, he mostly ran. I had never really seen him throw the football that much. And then when I was watching him throw, I was like, "Oh, this is why they were saying that." Jesus.
Well, can we talk about Baylor's quarterback too for a second? I mean, hell, to start the game, he was 18 for 18 with 3 touchdowns,
and then he was terrible.
And that's
we all thought he was terrible. He got hot, and then he went ice cold.
Yeah, he did.
The second half, but he was hot. He was.
Man.
They weren't really throwing the ball that much downfield, I don't think, from what I remember. But yeah, he was hot for sure. He came out balling.
True freshman. I mean, hey.
No, good for him. Good experience too.
Yeah.
Dave Aranda's doing some good stuff over there. Did you see the video of him when they stopped him? He was just like, he didn't even get excited.
Hey, where's he from?
LSU.
That's right.
Coordinator at LSU or the championship year.
Auburn's looking at their offensive coordinator, Jeff Grimes.
So, I didn't watch enough. I mean, I watched Baylor. I don't know if I don't know enough to say if that's a good pick or not. But I mean, I know he basically runs the read option from the shotgun.
Well, we were going for Zach Gill, which is Arizona State's offensive coordinator.
Arizona State sucks.
Yeah, him and Bryson though had or Brian, not Bryson. Him and Brian had ties at Boise. So I don't know.
Sounds like you need to go after the WKU offensive coordinator.
We tried, but he
said
left.
No.
He already left.
Where'd he go?
Hold on.
I mean, their quarterback lit it up this year. 56 touchdowns.
Dude, we were Zach Kitley, yeah. We were going for him. And he's Texas Tech's new offensive coordinator. That's why
he goes Texas Tech over y'all.
No, we never offered him. We were just contacting. I
was about to say that's bad, man.
No, we were just contacting him, and he literally they lost on Friday. He literally signed Monday, Tuesday. He left instantly.
I mean, you knew that was going to happen, though. You knew everybody in the country was going to try to get him to be.
Absolutely.
I mean, it may or may not work out. So you know how it goes when people go from that kind of a conference to Big 12, though. There's all kinds of offense there. He'll be successful. He'll be fine.
Yeah, as he should.
Yeah.
Was another game.
Houston Cincy. I was almost exact on what I called that day too.
Shit.
So they lost. Houston loses by 15. That we said they would cover 11. They got down to the 40 for a backdoor, the 40 or 30 for a backdoor cover, and then didn't get it on 4th down. So they were so close from backdoor covering. I said that they would probably backdoor cover it if they were going to cover. Of course, it didn't happen.
Yeah.
I mean, There's not much you can say about that game. I think Houston was a little bit overmatched, but they played solid. They tried in the first half, they really did. And then I think Cincy's adjustments at half were just a little bit too much.
Yeah, it was a good game, good fought game. They did the best they could have.
What was it, 14-13 at half or something?
Yeah. Auburn has Houston in the bowl game in the Birmingham Bowl. Which
That's
surprises
tough. That's a little tough matchup. I mean, they're not great. They're not great, but they're a good, solid football team. You know,
Hell, they're ranked
and you guys, they may be better. I mean, I think they're better than you guys, but you could dominate the line of scrimmage. Maybe I'm not sure. I haven't watched much of Houston.
I think our pass rush is going to be too good against them, and we'll beat them in half.
We're but you're not going to be able to score though. I mean,
we're favored. I know. Look for the under on that game, but yeah, we're favored -2 for some reason.
Yeah, interesting. Speaking of like over-unders, now we Wake versus Pitt game, we got the cover right. We said Pitt. I mentioned that I do this a lot because I truly believe, one, it boils down to the coaches, but if it's close, if it's within 3, I've done this a lot throughout the picks. I go with the better quarterback a whole lot. I really do. Because I think that can, I just think that sets teams apart. And with Pitt, that was my reasoning. I thought Wake could score a little bit. 1, Pitt's got a better defense, right? And 2, Pitt's got Kenny Pickett, and he's a player, man. He's a ball player. That fake slide, everybody was on his ass. But hey, it's not a rule. Huh?
People were pissed about it.
What are you gonna do? It's not a rule.
I didn't really give a shit. I mean, I thought it was
either. But I've watched a lot of Pitt games this year.
I mean, if I'm a defensive guy and I see him going to slide, like I'm doing the same thing that their defense.
Yeah, sure.
And he just
that's the thing. They'll make a rule, but it wasn't a rule, right? I mean, we saw in the NBA, James Harden take advantage of the rules for 4 or 5 years before they finally changed it this year, and he looks like shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They finally changed it.
All right, a couple nights ago.
No, but he's still a good player, but he's nothing like he used to be, where he used to shoot 20 free throws. I mean, he doesn't really get any at all anymore. Which is the complete opposite of what it used to be. But that's just kind of an example. I don't fault him for it. I mean, people do like fake knees and stuff. I mean, it's not
true
where everybody stops and then they pop up and throw a long ball. I mean,
it's true.
I'm sorry, but that's just you can take advantage of the rules, you know. But you did say over. What's wild is over 71. It was 45-21, and it was 45-21, and Wake Forest had 21 points at halftime.
Oh shit!
So if Wake Forest just scored at all in the second half, the over would have hit.
Did the over not hit?
No, it's 45-21. That's 66 points. The over was 71. Wake Forest, hold on. Wake Forest had 21 points early in the second. Like, remember, they were going back and forth early.
Yeah, for a minute, I was like, damn, man.
And Baylor didn't score from the early second on. The whole rest of the game didn't score.
Wow. Damn. Pitt's defense is pretty solid. They're not bad.
They can play. Yeah, I mean.
For the ACC, hell.
Yeah, for the ACC, they're a good football. They're a solid football team.
Yeah.
They're one of those that I think could even venture from like 7 to 15. I think they're around 11 or 12. I think they could beat some of the, like 2 or 3 of the top 10 teams. Like if they had a good day versus Oklahoma State or Baylor or something like that, I think they could hang in there with them.
Sure.
And then let's see. We talked a little bit about Iowa, Michigan. Michigan dominated.
Yeah.
It wasn't close from start to finish, not even close. You had a lock of the week though.
Alabama had to be.
No, your lock.
Oh shit.
Was, and it was 35-20, so they ended up scoring 55. You said under 53 in the Cincy game.
And they scored 55.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that was your lock of the week.
Damn.
Was the Cincy game. Let's see. And then we just did some NFL football games. We had Cowboys, Saints. Pretty easy. We both had Cowboys.
1-10, yeah.
I knew that was going to happen, especially with Taysom Hill starting. I'm sorry. I can see where you can get lost in it, in the offense. Like, oh, the offense is just going to be more fun with Taysom Hill because he can run the football and all this. But yeah, he can only run the football. He can't throw. He has an arm. He can sling it.
Yeah.
But he has zero accuracy.
Zero.
He has no idea how to read a defense. And it was just awful. Now, he had like one drive in there that was pretty good. But other than that, he threw 4 picks, I think. It didn't work out very, very well for him. Next game, Bengals versus Chargers. I had Bengals just because I don't know. I thought the Bengals, they had just came off the Pittsburgh win, but I quoted you right here. You had Chargers, not because you thought they were better, but because it's the NFL. The Bengals were good last week. Chargers will win this week. And you were right, of
They
course.
were up at 16-0 at one point.
Oh, yeah. Bengals made it a game, though.
They did. They came back a little bit, but then didn't they end up winning by 16 total? I think.
I think it was pretty. I think it ended up being pretty bad, but I know they got it to like 24-21.
Yeah,
It's hard. NFL is hard for me because I don't have NFL Red Zone. It's hard for me to see all the games because I only get really local games, and then because I don't even get the Titans here in Atlanta. I have to unless it's on like a primetime slot. I have to look it up on just a site to watch it. But and then the last game was Pats Bills.
I lost that one.
What a wild. Yeah, we both picked Bills. You picked Bills in a blowout. But the thing is, like, when we make these videos, just for a disclaimer, when we make these videos, unless it's a line we both really truly love, we're waiting still most of the time, especially for NFL. We're waiting till that Sunday or Monday to make the bets because we actually do pay more attention to the weather on those games, in my opinion. And I mean, if I would have known, I don't know who I would have picked. I still would have picked the Bills, and I truly do believe I would have picked the Bills. But that weather was wild.
Did you see the person kick an extra, like a field goal?
Yeah.
It was like during practice.
Yeah.
It was, I mean,
it was
30 mile per hour wind. It's hard to say miles per hour. Mile an hour. That's what I was trying to say. Miles per hour.
Dude, go look at that box score. If you woke up in the morning, didn't see the score, and just look at the box score, you'd be like, no damn way the Pats won this football game with, what did Mac, 1 or 2 passes? Threw 3 passes for 19 yards, I think.
I think he was 2 for 3 for 19 yards.
Just completely they ran it in the game. I remember at one point it was 30 straight times. So they could have ran it more after that. Honestly, it was a cool. I lost interest a little bit because it was just all runs. And trust me, I do love my fair share of defense, but I'm an offensive guy. I always will be.
Yeah.
And when I was watching it, I was like, this is just kind of boring. I mean, the Bills had a lot of yards too. They just would get inside the 10. They would stall out, and then they couldn't kick a field goal, so they'd have to go for it on like 4th and 10. It was just a wacky game.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you can't even get going. The Bills with Josh Allen. I mean, they're gonna, they want to throw the football. They don't go out there to run. I mean, there's nothing you could have done.
Yeah,
best thing they did when they lost. It was at 14-10. I mean, is what it is. Chalk it up and go to the next game.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much you can do about it, but Pats are rolling, man. They really are. They look good.
They're gonna lose some,
especially when you win a game just like that. You come in, Mac throws 2 times or 3 times, completes 19 yards, but you just do enough to win the football game. And that's what you're going to have to do in the playoffs. There's going to be times if you do have to go up to New England where they play, or you do have to go up to Buffalo or something like that. It's going to be like that. It's going to be cold, grind them out games. And what did you say earlier?
Which time?
Did you say they were going to win the Super Bowl?
Patriots?
Yeah. What did you say?
No, nothing.
Oh, I thought like 2 seconds ago before I started talking, I thought you said like they were going to go to the Super Bowl or win the Super Bowl or something.
No. They have a bye week this week.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
I was looking to see if they were going to play again this week, but I believe they have a bye week from the games I'm looking at right now.
Gotcha. What games do we have on slate?
What
games do we have on slate today?
We'll skip over Thursday because I think that's a boring game. And this won't get published.
Hey, but it's the NFL, buddy, right?
Vikings.
I'm gonna go what you said last week. Vikings lost to a pretty trash team last week. And it's the NFL. They're going to be great tonight. They're going to win tonight. Lock it in.
Vikings -3?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just because it's like you said, it's the NFL, dude.
It's the NFL.
And the Steelers. Right. I just don't believe in the Steelers. I mean, obviously I don't believe in the Vikings either, but I just think, God, when you look at the Vikings on paper, I just don't know how they're 5-7. Dalvin Cook, Justin
Jefferson,
Lions, Adam Thielen. Huh?
Lost to the Lions.
It's unbelievable, dude. When you look at that offensive roster, it's like, I know their defense is horrid, but when you look at that offensive roster, it's like, man, I guess I do know the common denominator there, and that's Kurt, but he does have some good games.
No question.
He has some bad games as well.
The over-under is 44.5. So instead of taking the Vikings -3 with you, I'm going to go under 44.5. So I guess I'd buy it out. I'd go under 45. It's in Minnesota.
Oh yeah, by the way, I have to give you some props here because, and I like to jump around a lot, but when we were talking about Iowa, Michigan, I forgot about this. In that game, you said it's either going to be really, really close or it's going to be like a big margin by Michigan. And you said you thought Michigan would cover the over 45 43 by themselves, and they did. I'm going to give you props. I like to give you props, and you called that. You're like, they're going to cover 45 or 43 all on their own, probably.
Yeah, look at me.
Sorry, back to NFL.
Wolverines, man. God, get me going. Get me going. But yeah, I like 44, or I'm sorry, I'll buy it up. So I'll like 45 under for the Steelers Vikings. Next game we have is Ravens and Browns, another shit show. Browns -2.5 over under 43. I believe in Baker. I believe
they're playing like.
Give me Browns -2.5, baby. Give me the Browns.
Oh, I'm not going against you here. I think both teams are playing really, really bad. Ravens are the second most injured team in the NFL behind the Titans. Lamar's just he's struggled lately. I don't know what it is, but he's still finding ways to win games at the end. This is at home for the Browns. I'm taking the Browns as well.
Yeah.
I think both teams are playing bad, and I just think the Browns will try to find a way to pull this game out.
Next thing we get Falcons and Panthers. Panthers are -2.5. See, when you see a lot of -2.5, -3, the only reason why these guys are favorited is because they're at home. If it was the opposite around, Falcons would be -2.5. If the Vikings were at home and Steelers were at home, Steelers would be -3. They give 3 points for home field advantage.
Gotcha.
Fun fact. So, yeah, Panthers and Falcons -2.5 over under 42. What do you think?
The Panthers are just a totally different football team without Christian McCaffrey. I mean, their offense is horrid without him. Falcons money line.
Okay, yeah.
No, that's all you can say, dude. Huh?
You got a +2.5. I mean, I guess take a money
line. I'm going money line.
Better odds. Yeah.
I just think Panthers, they don't really have a home field advantage either. But the because of how mediocre to bad they've been the past few years, I'm sure if they were undefeated, they would draw a lot more fans. But dude, they're so bad without Christian out there.
Yeah. I like Cam. Cam does okay.
Did you see that? Was it last week or 2 weeks?
Last game.
First week, 5 or something, dude. Huh?
Yeah, no. First week he came out pretty good.
Yeah, first week he did come out pretty good. They still lost that football game, but
they fired Joe Brady. Or
not the first week. I think they beat Arizona, but I'm talking about the week again that he came home. He still played pretty well, but they lost to the Redskins.
I saw like 2 interceptions, I think.
I'm trying to find what his stats were that last game because it was pretty bad. They fired Joe Brady, you said? Yeah, let's put all the blame on Joe Brady. It's not Joe Brady's fault. That was just to place the blame on somebody. I
like the under 42. I don't think they're going to score a lot. Both. I mean, if Cordell's back, maybe. If Cordell's back, and I see Cordell's back, I'll take.
Oh, he's not back.
I don't know if he is. If he is, I'll take Falcons money line. I think they win just solely off because of Cordell Patterson. But if he's not back,
where'd he go to school?
Auburn.
Where'd he go to school?
Tennessee.
Yes, sir.
No, that was Marquez Callaway that ate us up at the game we were at.
Yeah, I'm sure Cordero did too. If we played during his tenure, because he's one of the best college return mans of all time. Obviously, Devin Hester being the GOAT.
Yeah.
Dante Hall being second.
Hall for the Chiefs. Yeah.
A few others. I mean, Evan Berry for Tennessee is one of the best returners ever.
Yeah.
But here's Cam's stat line last week: 5 of 21, 92 yards, 2 picks. That's bad, man.
It is. I mean, who does he have?
All right, you know what's wild? He's 5 of 21, 92 yards, 2 picks. DJ Moore had 4 receptions for 103 yards. So therefore, Cam, 4 of his 5 passes went to DJ Moore for 103 yards. And 1 pass that he completed went somewhere else for negative 11 yards.
Holy shit. What wide receiver was that?
I don't know. I didn't watch the game. Maybe it was like he threw it and it deflected off somebody, you know what I mean? And it went backward and someone caught it. I don't know. But
Hold on.
I'm telling you, this is what this says. Oh, maybe they benched Cam. Did they bench Cam?
I can't even find the damn game.
Dolphins. Yeah, they benched him. Okay. Sorry. Disregard that.
Was
Then
that last week or 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, last week. Then PJ Walker comes in, goes 5 of 10. So probably just as bad with 1 interception and was sacked 4 times. Sorry, I thought that was going to be bizarre, but disregard all that. But
Also,
still, yeah,
his hair
521 sack.
sucks.
What?
His hair is awful, man. I love Cam. My God, his hair is awful.
Gotta love Cam. You gotta love Cam.
Look at his hair. It just sticks straight up.
Yeah.
I
No,
don't get that. I don't get it.
I don't know. I'd probably do some weird things too if I was
Straight up. Like, come on, man. Next game we got Seahawks and Texans.
What a game. Wow.
I'm sorry, Seahawks are -8.5, over unders 41. Jamal Adams is out for the rest of the year. I'm assuming his shoulder. I like the over 41 right here. I don't know who's going to win the game. I feel like 8.5 is a lot. I'm going to go Texans +9 in the over 41.
Where's the game? Houston. Houston's really bad. Seattle's really bad. 8.5 is a lot of points, man.
It is.
I like the over. Without Jamal Adams, Houston may get a couple scores in there, but Seattle's offense has been horrid. Even with Russ, ever since he's been back, they've been pretty bad. I'm going -8 Seattle just because I have no idea. I truly don't, and I can't go with the Texans. Seattle -8, and I'd go the over 41 with you. I think both defenses aren't very good.
Yeah.
Both offenses aren't very good either, though.
It could be the over. It could be the under, but I will say 55% of NFL games go over. Fun fact.
Really, I thought it was the opposite of this year. I thought most games were going to under.
Now this year, I haven't looked at the stat. I know, like last.
I think this year most of them are going under.
Really?
Yeah.
I know. I looked at this stat last year. It was 55%.
Okay.
Bets were the over. The next game I'll be at Titans Jaguars. Titans -8.5, over under 43.5. I like us off a bye week. I like us -8. I think we blow the Jaguars out. Jaguars, I don't think you may know the stat more than me. The Jaguars haven't won in national in a very long time. And I think we get it together with Julio being back. He looks really good. I'm watching some videos of him practicing. He looks really good, looks a lot healthy. It really looks really explosive. I like the Titans -8 here.
Man, it's hard for me to go with the Titans with the way we've looked recently, and really based off turnovers. Honestly, we moved the football against the Pats. We really did. But I can't. It's like we've been playing really bad, but I can't go against the Jaguars. We like you said, we own the Jaguars. Vrabel is I'm almost positive undefeated off a bye week. Give me the Titans.
He is undefeated after a bye week. I think he's 5 or 6.
Give me the Titans. I think our defense is much, much better than it was. Now we have some injuries, but it was much better than it was when we first played the Jags back in September. So I think we cover 8.
Let's see. What are you saying?
I think it was 8.5. So 8.
8.5.
Yeah. Okay.
Next game we have Raiders and Chiefs. Chiefs are -9.5 now. How you feeling? Over under is 48
in KC,
in Kansas City.
The Kansas City games are always hard for over unders because the Raiders can score the football, but KC's defense has been playing awesome lately. Yeah. But KC's offense still, it's been better, but it still doesn't look like the KC offense of old. I like the Raiders +10. I also like KC to win the football game. And I personally would not touch the over under because I just get scared that KC, because Raiders offense has the ability to score some points. And I just get scared of KC games and the logic is under, right? In my opinion, the logic would be to go under. I
Correct.
just get scared of KC's offense exploding at any point.
I'll say this. The only reason why last weekend the Chiefs covered, let me see what that score is. I think it was 22-9. So what is 22
And
minus?
Sorensen had that pick six.
I'll say, what is 22 minus 7?
22 minus 7 is 15.
Okay. 15-9. So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, we're waiting. We continuously say, yeah, we're waiting on this offense to just break apart. We're waiting on this offense.
And they did. They did it. Was it against the Raiders the last time? I'm pretty sure it was. And they dominated.
It's hard to beat a team twice. They're going to come out and make adjustments. There, this NFL. I like the Raiders plus 10 as well. I think, but maybe even winning it if the Raiders have a good plan to stop Mahomes. They just haven't looked all that year. I'd be great this year. Like I said, it should have been 15-9 last week. But the defense saved them, but the defense scored and made it 22-9. They don't have that. I mean, it's 15-9. The Broncos are still in the game a little bit.
Well, that's if, ands, and buts.
Correct. But I like the Raiders plus 10 and depending on their defense, maybe money line.
Gotcha.
Let's see. The next game we have Cowboys and Redskins, or Washington football team. Cowboys are minus 4.5. There's a reason why.
Washington.
In Washington. Why are they 4.5?
Because Washington's been playing really good.
Tony Pallard's questionable. Cedric Wilson, Noah Brown, Micah Parsons is questionable. That's about it. JD McKissick, is that their start running back? He's questionable. I mean, all these guys just probably didn't practice today, so they're questionable.
Washington 6-6. They're a solid football team now. They've rattled off some wins here. I'm trying to pull up their schedule.
I like Cowboys minus. I'd probably buy the points, but I like Cowboys minus 3.
So, I heard you. So after their Broncos loss in October, they rattled off a 10-point win versus the Bucks. They beat the Panthers, then beat the Seahawks, then beat the Raiders. So they've rattled off 4 straight wins with a pretty good win against the Bucks and held them to 19 points. What's the over under and everything?
48, and the Cowboys are minus 4.5. Redskins money line's only plus 170. So,
I mean, I've only lost one Cowboys game all year. I'm going Cowboys minus 4. It's just
you have to.
I think the Cowboys are a good football team. They had a little lull there, but I think they got their swagger back against the Saints. But I don't know if it's a blowout, man. I do think Redskins have a solid football team. I love their coach, Ron Rivera. I think Heineke's a dog. I don't know if he's the best quarterback ever or anything like that, but he's a dog. He's got heart, and he's gonna go out there and try to ball. But I got Cowboys.
Next thing we have, this is gonna be a good one, I think. Bills and Bucks. Buccaneers, it's in Tampa Bay. Buccaneers are minus 3.5, and the over-under is 53.5. What do you think?
Tom Brady. Sorry, Tom. That's all I got, man. I can't go against him. Can you go against him? I just don't see how I can go against Tom Brady. Their offense looks good. Now their defense looks bad, so maybe the over 53.
I like the over 53, but I like Bills plus 3.5, man.
Like Bills, you're going to keep riding with the – you've lost so many Bills bets this year, but you're going to keep riding.
What? I've lost a lot of Tom
What's your one saying? Don't bet against Nick. Don't bet against Tom.
But I have bet with Tom Brady all year, and I have not won. I think I maybe won.
There's no way. We just went with them against the Colts.
But it was we didn't take a money line. They didn't cover. Oh, yeah, they did.
Yeah, they did. They won by 7 points.
With Leonard Fournette. I forgot running in the end zone at the end.
Mm-hmm. And even if he didn't, they would have pushed. It was minus 3. But no, I'm not steering you away. I think the Bills can, like I say every week, the Bills, we don't know what Bills team we're going to get. They're down in the warm weather. I think they can win this game. but I got to go with Tom. I just don't bet against Tom Brady. Tom -3. And I like the over. In the warm weather, Bills offense shows up and the Bucks offense obviously will show up. Give me like a at minimum, like a 31-24 type game at minimum, and that covers it right there. I mean,
Yeah. I think it's gonna be a really good game. It's gonna be a shootout for sure. Not,
yeah.
I
mean, my gut says it may be more than that. I'm just saying all they need to do is really go 31-24, and they've already covered. So
absolutely.
I think they get it. I think they get over, and I like Tom. -3, not -3.5 though.
Let's see. Sunday night. Bears, Packers. Packers -12.5.
Oh my gosh.
Justin Fields is starting Sunday night.
I don't know if that's good news for the Bears. I'm not saying I think he's a rookie, you know. I think he's still got a heck of a lot of potential, but Andy Dalton didn't look that bad his last start.
I didn't think he looked bad all year, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, Andy Dalton's always going to be okay. He looked really bad with the Cowboys, but at one point he was a solid starter. He just can never win the big game, the playoff game. You know,
correct. And I like the Packers -12.5. I mean, dude, the Bears haven't beaten the Packers in a very long time, and I definitely don't think they're going to win in Lambeau. So,
it's in Lambeau.
Yeah, give me AR 14 by 14.
By 14. In Lambeau. I need to check the weather. I'm telling you that if it's really, really cold, like you think AR is going to be out there, he's going to be like, actually, they're so good in cold weather. If it was snowing, then you'd really pick. I mean, I'd pick him by 45.
Yes.
Him and Devontae, and Devontae is the smoothest route runner in the league, man. It's crazy what he can do in the snow. Yeah. Like what we saw last year against the Titans. I mean, we were slipping and sliding. He was just like, it didn't affect him at all. But I don't know if it'll be snowing. But if it's a snow game, give me Green Bay -12 all day. That's still a lot of points, but the Bears are really bad. I'm not betting against AR, just like I'm not betting against Tom. Give me the Pack -12.
-12. All right, and we got Monday Night Football. Last but not least, Rams and Cardinals. Here's you another Cardinals -2.5. It's in Arizona. It's the reason why it's -2.5. I'll tell you this. I like the Rams. I just think they're too good overall. And a lot of people are starting to count out Matthew Stafford, which blows my mind. I understand, I mean, I don't want to say he's having a bad year. I mean, he's having a pretty good year, but
he had an amazing start to the year. He just had a bad few games. You'd rather have your bad few games now than later on in the season. No, I firmly believe in Matthew.
I do too. So I think him and OBJ are going to have a good connection. I like Rams +3.
Sunday night,
Monday night
football.
I like Jalen Ramsey.
A great team. Give me the Cards.
Jalen Ramsey's going to lock up DeAndre.
No one locks up DeAndre.
Jalen Ramsey does.
When?
Monday night.
He may. I don't know.
Money line. Lock it.
I mean, they have all kinds of weapons, though. The Cardinals do,
Yeah, they do.
And Kyler can kill him with his feet. That's the one thing like Matthew can't do. He can run a little bit. I'm not saying Matthew's a statue back there, but he definitely doesn't want to run. I think it's at home. I think Arizona, since it's Monday night too, they'll provide a really good environment.
Yes.
I'm going to go, since it's such a low spread, I'm going to go Arizona to cover that. I think I'm excited for the game though. I think it's going to be a really good game.
Great. I'm definitely going to tune in and watch it.
Oh, I tune into every single Monday and Sunday night. I'm going to be tuning in.
Yeah.
Unless it's like the Texans versus Jags. I don't think I'd ever watch that.
We had a pretty bad one the other night, a couple Mondays ago, and I did not watch it.
Who was it?
Let me see. Dude, I don't even know, but it was very, very, very bad. I say that, and you may not think it's bad. Let's see.
Was it like Steelers Bears, or is that a Thursday night game?
Seahawks and Redskins. Did not watch that one.
I watched some of it, I think. I didn't watch all of it. That's not that bad. I don't mind watching the Skins, and I don't mind watching Russell.
I watched Steelers Bears. I like that one.
You liked that game? Oh, way
Really
rather
good
watch.
game.
I'd way rather watch Russ and Heineke go at it than worthless Ben Roethlisberger and worthless Andy Dalton.
Yeah, that's been the worst Monday night so far. The last one I said,
Which one?
or Redskins and
Okay.
I know
No, the Monday and Sunday night football games have been pretty awesome this year. The
which
Thursday night games have been terrible,
Thursday night have been very bad.
but the Monday and Sunday night games have, for the most part, been really really good football
Yep.
games.
We open up Titans open up with the 49ers. I want to say in 2 weeks, 3 weeks against the
49ers are starting to look really good. They got things together. Actually, they lost last week though against the Seahawks, I think.
They
Yeah.
did it.
Yeah, they were starting to look good, and then they lose to the Seahawks. It's like, man,
Yep.
the NFL is just the NFL, though.
NFL's
It's
NFL. But anyways, thanks guys for listening to episode 5 or 6. I want to say 6.
We'll go with 6.
But tune in next week and we'll go over the bowl games.
Heck yeah, let's get it. Peace.